Okay. Hi, I'm Arcadia. Welcome to my channel. And I just wanted to make a quick rant because today is January 19th. It's almost 1 a.m. I stay up late all the time. Don't know why. I just do it. But of course, it's January 19th and TikTok has been banned. Now I see people having like meltdowns and people having valid points on why TikTok should be deleted and why TikTok shouldn't be deleted. But here are my main thoughts. Number one is the income from TikTok. First of all, I think it's very sad that in our American economy, we have to depend on social media apps to make a livable income, and it's truly a reflection of our government and how our politicians allow things to get so bad. And it's extremely disappointing because it doesn't make sense how a TikToker can make more than a doctor. How there's so much money to be made as an influencer, whether you do a lot or nothing at all. And all this money is going into these people's pockets, but people who are in traditional roles won't see any salary increases, or they do get a raise or promotion occasionally, but it's literally cents on a dollar, like a 25-cent raise or a 30-cent raise hourly, and it's ridiculous. My other point with the income is that these influencers are overpaid for literally nothing, which causes a gap and division between the people, just the people. What my original point is, like, how come TikTokers make more than doctors? That is extremely sad. Now, another point I want to make about TikTok is that people complain that they won't be able to have their communities. Well, I agree that online you're able to make communities easy and it's really cool, and you can find all kinds of different niches and get inspired by niches. But why do you specifically need TikTok to do that? I don't feel like you should only get your creativity from an app that is only after your money and your screen time. There are multiple ways to find communities and find a group of people that you like. You could just go outside, talk to people. You could create your own community based on what you like. And people are acting like TikTok is like the only app people are using, but there are still plenty of YouTube platforms. So like I said, if you like to skateboard or something, for example, and you watched TikToks about skateboarding, you were inspired by different creators, you could do the exact same thing on other platforms, or you could do it in person. Like, you do not need TikTok. And then just off of the inspiration creativity side, people digest all kinds of content all day, having their TikTok their TikTok time, whatever it's called. They'll be on TikTok for 6 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, the whole entire day. Why do you need to give your time up to an app just to be inspired? Why not just actually do what you want? Why do you need social media to, validate what hobbies you like or inspire you to do those hobbies? Like, you don't need an app to do that. If you like to crochet, instead of watching a bunch of TikToks about crocheting, why don't you actually just try it out yourself? And of course, there's all kinds of useful media, but once again, TikTok is not the only social media. You can find the information in so many places, or better yet, in books, because books have always been around. It's ridiculous. Or, if you want to learn languages. Once again, TikTok is not the only social media platform. You can find ways to learn languages. You can learn languages on YouTube. There are language learning apps. There are video games for language learning. So as many hobbies as you have, as many interests as you like, you could find those exact things, be inspired by those things outside of TikTok. Like, you don't need that app. It is really sad. And then as for the influencers who are losing their jobs, or like the TikTok sellers, or the people who exploit their children or their family or their private lives for views in order to get money, they'll be perfectly fine. Because the thing is, compared to traditional jobs, if you're a teacher, doctor, I don't know, bus driver, if you're fired from your job, you could still find more jobs. If you're fired from being a teacher, you could find plenty of schools that will hire you. Compared to social media or non-traditional jobs that are on social media, you have to understand that, you could grow this huge platform, but of course it could be gone in literally a day, which it is, and it is gone. That's why you as a creator have to understand that you have to diversify your platform, because if you throw all of your, I forget the phrase, throw all your beans into a barrel, maybe that's a phrase, I don't remember. Obviously you're going to fail. Obviously you're going to lose a lot of money, which is why the smart people, of course, who were on TikTok had a YouTube. They were promoting their YouTube, also did like long form content, or they were on other platforms depending on what they did. So it's just an easy expectation as to, compared to like traditional jobs. Traditional jobs, there will always be traditional jobs. May not pay the best or whatever, but compared to non-traditional roles, they come and go very quickly. Same thing as viewership. You could gain 1 million followers, you could lose 1 million followers. You could gain 100 million followers, you could gain 50, you could lose 50 million followers. It's really, while non-traditional jobs are flexible, they're also, pretty dangerous for the income, because you could lose all of your, all your hard work in seconds and days and moments. The other thing is, I think I already mentioned community and stuff. Hold on one second. A lot of people are talking about losing jobs and stuff, or like small businesses that have lost their that will have lost a lot of their sellers. But 9 times out of 10, the amount of followers does not equal sales. The amount of likes on a post does not equal sales or revenue at all. Now, if a company really was able to expand their business, only with social media, it's the same issue again. If they were only using social media to promote their business and the platform does disappear, they should have chose to promote their business in a traditional way so they could have long-term customers. It's really, common sense, honestly. And of course, for entertainment, there has been funny stuff on TikTok, but it's in a 60-second video. Like, how many 60-second videos do you need to entertain yourself? And people are on here or on this app for hours, which is why we have brain rot as the phrase that they like to use. But why do you need 60-second videos to entertain yourself or to make you happy for that short moment? Like, of course, you're going to keep on scrolling until you find something more funny. But you could, honestly entertain yourself, or go have a conversation with your family or your friends and, talk about something funny. Or you could watch long videos on YouTube, like from comedy shows, or matter of fact, you could go outside and watch comedy shows, which is like, we don't need TikTok. It is not, grown adults should not have meltdowns about this app. And once again, if they are so worried about this app, they had plenty of time to diversify their platform, because that's what you're supposed to do with a non-traditional role, with a non-traditional job, because anything and everything that you have can disappear very quickly compared to traditional jobs. Another thing I saw is like in classrooms and in schools, that social media has taken away a lot of students' attention spans, and then they're not listening to their teachers, but instead they're just scrolling on their phone. We have seen videos of teachers and students fighting over phones, which is ridiculous. And one part of it is on social media. How addictive the platform purposely is, so they can generate long-term users and so on and so on. But the other part is like parenting. Like, there's all kinds of limits on the app. Teen limits, child limits, time savers or whatever. they have those things on the app anyways. But it's unfortunate that children, of course, affected the most, that they can't even pay attention in class because they are addicted to their phone. And another thing is finding friendships online. Now, there's nothing wrong with finding friendships online, but I will point out that it's a little sad that if somebody is unable to make in-person connections, that they depend on social media to create friends, that there is a bigger issue. People use social media apps to connect with people all the time. I have done it. Everyone has done it. But to depend on an app for a friendship is genuinely sad. And people need to learn how to communicate, make friends, or find their own community outside of social media. I overall think that the meltdown is ridiculous because there's more social media apps, which is why I'm like, we do not need TikTok. It's another app rolled into another app rolled into another app with a different name, same function. Oh, and of course, music artists. So a lot of music artists have used TikTok to promote their music, but of course, the issues with that is that their music is not. The issue with that is their music is only popular with TikTok, and it stifles the artist's growth. 2, sometimes the music can be stolen. 3, it's hard to get contracts where the artist is, paid for their music that is used on a social media app. Before with Musical.ly, a lot of artists' music was being used, and people were making dances to it, but they were not getting paid for it. So it was a lot of lost revenue. But of course, some people said they have found niche, smaller artists, indie artists, with TikTok, and they're so sad that they can't have this app to find small artists. But I'm like, you do not need TikTok to find small artists. You can literally go into your city and find artists, unknown artists performing like on the side of the street. You can look at other platforms to find niche artists, to find independent artists. Like, you do not need TikTok to function as a normal human. I think that's my main point. Things like communication, like, you don't need an app to do that. Things like finding new music, you don't need an app to do that. Making friends, you do not need an app to do that. Having hobbies, you do not need an app to do that. Sure, it's easier for all of those things to do it on social media and on these apps, but you don't need to be dependent on this app. I think the banning really just showed how dependent people are on this app, even for income. So yeah, there's plenty of apps I'm sure will pop up in the future having the same format, allowing people to earn income from their social media content. But for me, the main reason why I'm against TikTok is just that, people are paid for doing absolutely nothing. And sometimes they are paid to be extremely abusive, extremely toxic for no reason, and they get paid for that. Or there are predators on the app who are incentivized for their actions. They're essentially rewarded for being a bad person. And of course, the people on the app, while some are good, some are just extremely terrible. We have seen doxing, harassment, privacy invaded. But that's just how the world is. So anyway, my main point is that we do not need TikTok to do basic human things. We don't need TikTok to teach us how to make a meal, because we could A, try it by ourselves, B, get a cookbook, or C, go to any other platform. We don't need an app to make friends, because we can A, go to another app to find friends, B, talk to people, C, find a community at the bare minimum, because sometimes it is hard to make friends. We do not need the app to host our businesses, because 1, following count does not equal sales. 2, hard marketing or a more loyal fan base comes from traditional marketing or traditional sales practices compared to social media, which can be deleted at any point. And 3, while you could just promote your company, it still does not equal to sales. I think I said that in the beginning, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's my main point. We don't need TikTok for basic human. I'm forgetting, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. We do not need TikTok to do basic human things, to communicate, to eat, to read, to find new information, and to make money. Okay?